Hi, nice to see you again. I'm here because there's a few topics that I've journaled with my Holy Divine's presence, and there was a lot of realizations I've had with speaking with my inner divine, and this inner divine, I have a term for it. Might never share, but basically, this is what I came across. You should learn to not be eavesdropping, because in the other room someone might be saying something, and you should learn to not eavesdrop. Rather replace the eavesdropping with they're talking good about someone rather than they're talking bad about you. That's what generally people do. When they hear conversations in another room, they're like, oh, they're talking bad about me. But that's not true. The truth is that you decide what you want to hear. Make up story, the story you want to make up. You know. So that's just something that may be useful for some people who are overly paranoid about things, who feel like they're on every topic they get paranoid, and some people's brains are very difficult because of the training they've had, and I have empathy for them. And so there's no use to eavesdrop other people's conversations in the other room or across the street, or you hear people. Uh, there's freedom of rights, but would you really prefer to sleep in peace, or would you prefer to have a thought that's nagging you all night? It's just eavesdropping hasn't helped many people. Or I mean, there are some pros and cons to everything, but in my opinion, eavesdropping should be only they're talking good about, not you. They're not talking about you. That's where people get it wrong. Like, they're talking bad about me. Change it to they're thinking good, not about you. That's ego. That's like, oh, I'm the best. They're talking good about the person, another person, the person across the road, the person who just who you don't even know, or the person you may know, but it's better that you don't know the person. So rather change that around. And basically, Buddha has many wise topics. Meditation is a very, very intriguing topic, because keeping your focus on not thinking is a mission that I myself try to perfect, because that's where Rana Byron would call awareness, and from the book The Secret. And by not thinking, it's a mission, It doesn't happen overnight. The 5 minutes in the morning is great, but it's better to try to make it a daily habit, a daily goal. When you're walking across the street, practice not thinking, or going on a trip to the mall. Throughout the whole trip, your goal should be not to think. So that's what people don't even ponder on. They don't think it's important not to think all the time, but it's beneficial for your mental health. And there are benefits of sleeping. Can be at will. Sleeping can be at will. You can go on the pillow, and in a few seconds you can fall asleep, or even minutes. I'm not perfect at this. I'm just saying that some people I know are able to sleep with such an ease, and if they can do it, then it's not a far-fetched idea. I mean, being able to sleep, just putting your head on the pillow and then just going to sleep slowly but surely, fading away into the abyss. I'm not sure what abyss means, but into the other world. And another thing is aging. It's a topic. I mean, I think that seniors are are pushed aside, bullied because they have memory problems. But actually thinking is a waste of time. I think they're blessed because they can use their cell phone app to remind them of things, and besides that, they're probably in the passage between senior to next world, where in the next world there's awareness, there's not much thinking. So maybe that's the case why there's, or I mean, aging is something that can be stopped by not looking in the mirror all the time. Some people, they have to look in the mirror for every single pimple, every single eyelash, every single defect they feel they have. And this is not true. The mirror ages the body in some sense. This may be harsh to hear. Some people are like, what are you talking about? The mirror doesn't age the body. I think it may be a culprit in that. It may. Because your cells are sensitive, and every single critique you have about yourself in front of the mirror ages you. And that's a far-fetched idea again. And how can looking in the mirror even cause such a disruptive impact? But it's not just that. Even the judgment of others on their appearances. Like some people, they need a feeling of belonging and to categorize themselves in a status. Why don't you categorize yourself in a young and fit status instead? In a perfect status, in a youthful status where you're hanging out. Imagine yourself hanging out, having ice cream with a teenager. You guys are pals, and you see yourself at your best. And go about that from that range rather than thinking, oh, they're that category, I'm this category, I don't belong in that. Well, sure, you can fake it till you make it. Belong in the younger category. Fake it till you make it. And our cells are sensitive, and the media makes this a big problem because they just judge so much. They're like, they're this, they have this, they have this. And all these judgments accumulate over time. They accumulate all the defects determined on others. They impact you because, hey, oh, they have this, but they're not wrong with their nose. Oh, then you're going to, as the law of attraction goes, you give bad, you get bad back. If you're giving bad emotions and attitudes to someone based on their nose, then you get that bad energy back, an eye for an eye. It's the truth. The law of attraction is real. So these things are, they don't make any sense. Why would you want to pick on someone on their appearance if you know it's going to disrupt your own appearance? It's a waste of time. And so that's where judgment is an issue, because judgment is needed to grow. From birth, we learn to judge, how to put one foot in front of the other. We're judging, oh, this foot should go there, that foot should go there. And as we grow, we go into school, and we need to judge and learn and learn and learn. But after a certain point, even in the school system, there's judgments that can be hurtful. And let's just finish up with the schooling, okay? Get your degree, get yourself fit for the job market, and then we'll go into the judgment topic. I'm not sure when this will be for you, but just how it should be. When you reach the end of your studies, that's where you should reach the topic of, now I have to let go of all that negativity that I accumulated from my past. And that requires forgetting. And that's where Alzheimer's, it's the savior for perhaps many seniors, because they probably going through that phase of forgetting their past, and so they can open up to an awareness state, and that's found in the next world. And In that world, there's no hurtful judgments. That's why there's so much peace. And I'm trying to get to the other world. I'm not there yet, but I think that, by having harsh attitudes towards others, it's not a good idea. Um, yeah, and let's hope that sleeping will become an easy task in the future. And hurtful thoughts, when people are like, okay, it's my last time. It's my last time I'm going to think a hurtful thought about this person or this event or this thing. But the thoughts come back and they come back and they come back and they come back. So that's not your fault. It's just the education, that system that sadly, you have to tolerate the education system to belong in society, sadly. But there's nothing wrong with some of the teachings. Some of the teachings are good. I'm not opposing all the teachings. Some of them are good, like generosity, empathy, and so on. And so I'm not saying don't go to school from now on. No, I'm still studying, holistic coaching. I mean, I think that it is only one time I'll think and end up having a hurtful thought about someone is something that keeps many people stuck, because they know they're going to end up having to think about the situation again and again. There's repetition that ends up for majority of the people, and repeating, and it's difficult to let go, this attachment to something. Maybe ego's involved, but because that might be the last task to forget, but maybe not. I was able to walk and practice not thinking. Today it was less attainable than yesterday. This is a journal of my time when I started off with the seeking awareness. I usually walk a bit and have a small segment of not thinking. I will do meditation. I also need to not think people. When I have a bad thought, I should say, Astaghfirullah, God protect me, or give me guidance and protection, or other forms of self healing, and say thoughts that thought does not belong to me. I only have good thoughts about everyone and everything. Not to think people includes good thoughts and bad thoughts. So people are like, wait, you're asking me to just give up thinking about people on their own? That's where meditation is. That's where awareness is. You have to give up good people, not just bad people. You have to give up thinking of bad people and good people. So that's a big hit for some people. They're like, what? I have to give up thinking of bad people and good people? So that's where awareness is. Rhonda Byrne speaks of this, and that's where the peace is. Sure, that should be a regular goal that a person has, to not think of someone. And it's possible. Like I can think I can go for walks without thinking about anybody, and you can too. You can. There's a lot of letting go that has to happen from your part. Just have kind emotions about someone when I see them in the present is optimal and sufficient for saints, for people who want to be holy. So, yeah, we'll continue. Fear is an emotion that is not useful. Relief is rooted through an experience of fear. Both are of no use to me. Relief is a non-for-profit organization. Fear is in of war-stricken countries are rooted with relief. If there is no negative, then there is no need for the emotion of relief. an emotion due to a fearful event, circumstance. The relief organization is important, very important. I donate to non-for-profits, and inshallah ta'ala will never stop. Inshallah ta'ala is an Islamic term meaning God forbid, Allah forbid. And in your case, maybe another holy being forbid. However, being relieved is positive and should currently not be overlooked. My thoughts have to be clean and holy for my cells to enhance my immunity. So that's it. You can't have hurtful thoughts about people, judgments, comparisons. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help me. My cells do not enjoy negativity, lowering people, things of hate. Yeah, and you can correct your bad thoughts, but then what happens is the correction is difficult to keep, to hold on, because they're thoughts, they're fight or flight thoughts that are impacting your brain at the moment. And maybe not, maybe you've healed from the fight or flight teachings that school teaches people, that it can be, fight and flight can actually be fixed. You don't have to think in fight or flight just because the school system teaches you, and that's how people are. Maybe it's based on a generalization, maybe, because not everyone has fight or flight. If they see something, they either fight it or they fly from it. Why can't it be just peace? You know, that's it, just peace. And that's what people are aiming for. No one wants to run away from things, fight or flight it, no one wants it. That's an inherent, and I don't know what to say about fight or flight. It's just there, and it's a teaching, and it can be overcome. It can be overcome by putting goals and setting on objectives and beating those objectives and moving forward into a higher state of courage. But if there's isolation for a long duration of time, that depletes itself and you have to redo the process. And I went on a walk, and on my thinking knot was simplified, and I went on a walk and my thinking knot was simplified by thinking of my other senses: see, touch, taste, smell, and feel, taste, sense. Senses: see, touch, taste, smell. I'm not sure if I'm missing one, but that one as well. And not only thinking people. I had 2 people walk their dog, and they both were close to their homes, and I did not need to think about who walks which side of the sidewalk, left or right. My meditation time for 5 to 20 minutes was productive. My walks are also holy walks. I don't need to think. Prolonging negative thoughts, talks, trying to correct negative thoughts, are better off fading into nothingness, which is, thinking nothing and being meditative. The brain is at ease when quiet. There's so much peace that just now I didn't have a single thought. It's possible. It doesn't make you dumb. You probably think, oh, she's dumb. No, I'm just kidding. You wouldn't think that about me. Reacting to negativity is best shaking my head gently and subtly, rather than dramatic reaction of fear and disappointment, anger, frustration, roar. Just go like this gently. You didn't approve the thought. You didn't approve the situation. You didn't approve the event. Just go gently. You're your higher divine, God, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, Hindu God, Greek God. I don't know who it is, but they pick up on the gentleness because they themselves are gentle, very kind. And just going like this, gently with your head a no sign, it works magic. So you don't need to share your disapproval in an abundant and ravaged way that you take away the energies, the positive energies, because we're all composed of energies. By getting furious, angry, disappointed, there's a lot of vibrations in the air, that good vibrations that get depleted because of this. I don't know if this is the case, but I'm a prisoner of time right now. I'm not sure if that's the case. Maybe I'm not a prisoner. Maybe it gives me stability. I'm not sure about anybody else here, but maybe, like, you know how people say time flew by? Maybe it actually did. Maybe it wasn't just the imagination. Maybe time flew by and it was meant to, you know? And let's see, we're at 21 minutes. Let's stop it there. I'll stop. I'll put a check mark where we stopped at this part of the holy teachings that I received from my inner divine. And your inner divine, you decide what you want that inner self to be, who you want to follow. It's in your hands, not mine. So these are guidances I received from my inner divine, spending time with the kind, gentle voice that people speak of. So gentle, so beautiful, and it's possible to one day hear that voice through faith. And so being faithful is not a bad thing. Religion, people are like, oh, I don't go to this temple, I don't go to this church, I don't go to this mosque anymore, I don't do these practices anymore. But that's positive energy that you're wasting. You're not attracting positive energies, vibes. Good vibes are important. And that's it, So I'll sum it up. It was a good session. We went over different things about not thinking. We went over things about ourselves not enjoying negativity, and about fear. It's an emotion, and it's not useful. And having good thoughts are better than bad thoughts, and topics such as this. And actually the topic was have no thoughts, not good or bad, but having no thoughts was the topic. Okay, bye for now.